I am sure that we can all agree that it's been almost impossible to secure a business analyst role recently, and I am here to explain why this is the case. Now, business analyst roles are roles that has always existed since the late 80s. However, in the past few years, we have experienced a spike in the demand for business analyst roles by companies due to many factors like data driven decision making, digital transformation, increased complexity of business operations, agile methodologies, focus on customer experience, and emerging technologies. And as the demand for the roles increased, more people were introduced to the world of business analysis. For example, I discovered business analysis in 2020, and from my research back then, there was a prediction that the demand for business analyst roles would always be on the rise. And I took advantage of the information that I got, and so did thousands of people across the world up until today. Now, this brings me to my first point, which is high competition. The competition for business analyst roles have become so high because now existing business analysts are competing with both existing business analysts and aspiring business analysts. And the aspiring business analysts are also competing with existing business analysts and people who just want a change of jobs and all those people who have been able to break into this space. If you go on LinkedIn and if you do not filter, in fact, if you see a job that has been posted like 3 minutes ago, I bet you that over 100 candidates have already applied for that same role to become a business analyst. So, like, the competition is so high that in a way it reduces your chances of getting a job if you are still trying to break into that space. The number of people who want to become a business analyst, they are just way too much. And what happens when the demand is high? It reduces your chances of securing a spot because there are a lot of people in that space, and there being a lot of people there, it makes it so hard. The competition is so tight, guys. Because there are a lot of people applying for the same role, employers right now have increased the requirements to be able to get a business analyst role. Before, it was a case of you could get a traditional business analyst role. Now the requirements are so high, and it's almost impossible to become a business analyst if you do not possess these particular skills or if you don't fit into their requirements. By traditional BA, before you really did not need like technical skills whatsoever to actually be able to secure a business analyst role. But I feel like in a bid to kind of like streamline the candidates that they are selecting, they have increased the requirements, made it more tougher, so that it reduces the level of people who apply for the roles, if that makes sense. So by increasing the requirements, it actually helps to drop off people who do not fit into that requirement and selecting those people who do fit into those requirements. And that is why right now, if you are really looking for a business analyst role, you need to do your best to study and get up to speed and get to the point where you fit into the requirements. Like, go through job advertisements and see what they require from business analysts right now. If it's a new skill you could learn, if it's a new certificate you could get, you need to step up your game because it's tough out on the streets, guys. It's tough. So building up on the last point about requirements changing and all of that, right now some companies are overlapping the role of a business analyst. So before, you could purely be a business analyst, but right now it's been identified that a business analyst can be a project manager, a business analyst can be a product manager, a business analyst can be a technical business analyst. Being a business analyst, you can be so many other things. You are getting so many skills in one, and because of that, some companies tend to merge all these roles into one role, which in turn automatically disqualifies some people who do not have project management skills, product management skills, or have any form of technical skills or knowledge or anything. So they're trying to reduce the cost of employing all these different roles in one team and just probably employ one business analyst who can function as all of these people. It makes it quite difficult for new business analysts to kind of break into that space. It also makes it quite difficult for existing business analysts to move to a different role if they're tired of their existing role. One other reason is these days there's an increasing need for business analysts in specialized knowledge areas. So most times some companies are looking for business analysts who have specialized knowledge in like SAP, Salesforce, in finance, and some other areas. So if you are just learning how to become a business analyst without having that specialized knowledge in different areas, I mean, you never know what a company is looking for anyways, but seeing a job advertisement that already says, oh, SAP business analyst or Salesforce business analyst or finance business analyst, and you know in your heart of hearts that you do not have any of those specialized knowledge, it in a way already disqualifies you for that role. And in most cases, you would definitely not apply for that role. Now that there are a lot of people fighting or competing for the same role, it gives the recruiters like more options to pick out from. Now, while this is good, it means that most times employers are looking for the best of the best, because now they have the best of the best applying for the roles and they need to select the best of the best. So it's like they have a pool of candidates and they need to select the best out of that pool. And if you are not presenting yourself as the best of the best in that pool, chances are you would not get that job. Chances are you wouldn't even be shortlisted for an interview, right? Before, I remember when I actually applied. I mean, when I started applying, I started getting calls. I felt like it wasn't that hard to get a job as a business analyst. But in the past year, my mindset has kind of shifted about that. It's a downside for people looking for a job. Looking at it from the recruiter's perspective, from the employer's perspective, they have a lot of people right now to select from to fill up the role. And trust me, they would take their time. Trust me, they would, let's pick and choose and see what fits, right? There's no shortage, there's no scarcity. Like, there's nothing like that. It's quite the opposite. It's like, oh, we have a whole bunch of people trying to get this role. So, let's see how we can select. Now, these are just a few reasons why it's almost impossible to get a business analyst role these days. I could keep going on and on, but if you connect the dots, everything points out to one thing: continuous learning. As a business analyst right now, in this kind of market that is very saturated, very filled up with a lot of people, very packed with both aspiring business analysts and existing professional business analysts and all of that, you need to do your homework. You need to do your best to make sure that you are learning something new every day. Take some time, go on LinkedIn, go on Indeed, just pick out a few job descriptions, see what tools are in high demand, what most companies are requesting for. See if you can learn those tools. You can explore getting certified with IIBA or BCS. Just do your homework, learn something new. You really need to up your game, because the fact that we have more people to compete with, it means that there are more people struggling for the same position that you want, meaning that you need to have an advantage, you need to have an edge over these people. And you cannot have that edge if you do not read or increase your knowledge or learn something new or try and be up to date with the business analyst market right now. Do your best, do your due diligence. You can go on ChatGPT, ask for tools necessary to become a business analyst, certification, whatever, in what country you are, in what zone you are, what is needed, what is required for you to be able to break into that space. Without doing that, you're probably just wasting your time. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the sad reality right now. It's tough out on the streets, guys. It's really tough, and you just have to do your best. You gotta do what you gotta do. So guys, this wraps up this video. I hope that you've learned one or two things from this video, and I hope that you'll be able to secure a job fairly soon enough. And I hope that this misery comes to an end, because I understand it's not easy looking for a job for so long and not being able to secure a job. The market is just really tight. It's really tight right now, guys. So do your best to stay on top of your game, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.